All right, guys, let's go.
It's week 13 of the National Football League, and we'll see the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Dolphins and the Jets, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gordon, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball in the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Miami. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Go, guys.
Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Two and a throw right away. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. You talk about this Jets defense. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Now a 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he'll take this up to the 30, the gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Tua going to throw. Completes this one to
Good job.
And he is going to
Good job,
Dolphins first
go.
down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Gonna go, Rook.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Tua. Got his man, it's Thornton. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on the heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's an easy
Jets
catch. Come on,
defense.
guy.
This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
On play action, here's Tua. Steps away. And that's going to be another first down.
Big run, big run.
At the Jets' 12-yard line. A gain of 22.
He's
Good
a talented
decision.
runner, and
Good
that means he's
decision,
always
guys.
looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and his early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Running left, Achane. And they'll go backwards here. Losing
call
yardage
holding.
to the 14.
Told you, man, they gonna cheat every time we get close to something, man.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Tua sets up to pass it. Throw finding Thornton over the middle. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A run straight ahead with Achane. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long
Way to get that first down
they can
back.
still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Achane will score.
Good job, Achane.
First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to
Give him a long
establish the
clap.
run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the drive finished off with a touchdown run from Devon Achane. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
I ain't no name defense.
So
Let's
here
go.
comes the Jet offense as they get ready
Because
to
these
take
when we
it.
have no quarterback.
And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year
First
quarterback.
game of the season.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Ritter now. Caught by Wilson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup.
No, he cannot go out. He cannot go out.
Now a stoppage
Oh,
here as
my
it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play.
It's my best
We'll get
offensive
an
no-name
update when
line,
we come
man.
back to Miami.
Oh, that's going to hurt us there, boy. Wow.
From the 35, here's second down at a yard. They'll give to Hall. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick.
Man,
it is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
This one incomplete and over everybody. Looked like a clear throwaway. But the officials, they're going to say there's a receiver over there in the area, so no flags, and it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Ritter. That is caught. And he is going to have a Jets first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And his pass incomplete. Well, these two teams met at MetLife Stadium earlier this season with the Jets winning that ball game. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give running right is Hall. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Watch screen.
Ritter back to throw.
There you go. Watch the screen. Good job.
Down he goes. And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to put it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. Well, just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
There's a short one caught by Ryman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle, H.M. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber that runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 1. Again, it's Achane. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A give left side. Here's Achane. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Play action. Now it's Tua. Throw left side, taken in by Palmer. And they'll have it in the red zone before
Good job.
it crosses over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. On the handoff, it's Achane. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down.
Good run, Achane. Let's get to the hole.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Once good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Jets offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And as you see on the graphic, he's right up there with the best in the league when it comes to throwing touchdowns. Currently 2nd in the NFL at this point in the season. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
Big tackle, guys.
In his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Ball again. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Watch the screen.
Ritter from the gun on 3rd down. This one deep for Wilson.
Here you go, Flowers. Good job, Rook.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
63 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
There's a short one caught by Ryman. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll run forward with Achane, and he is going to have the Dolphins
Making the first down. Good job.
A couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. On 1st down, back to Achane. He'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this is incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. This offense so far on 3rd down, no problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 9. Wright's got it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
And still second quarter, you get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's Ritter. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
I'll tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost a
Ritter. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. To the air again, it's Ritter. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Ritter from the gun. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Working from the gun, Ritter. He had him now open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami's offense set and ready to go. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times we watch 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. And he continues to have success running the ball here in the first half as he's already closing in on 100 yards for the game. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Now Tua. Open man, it's Palmer. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Into space at the 45. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. They'll give this to Achane. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 90 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Achane here, they stay on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. That last run going to put him over 100 yards for the ball game. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Right side, Thornton with it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where
Nice,
the
guys.
defenders are
Looking
not,
good.
and he
Keep it
does
going.
exactly
Keep it going. Keep it
that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Now they send a man in motion right. They'll run, Achane. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Looking to pass, Tua. His pass caught with the fall. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
We didn't take off. We didn't take off on defense. Take off money.
The kick by Lutz is
Take
good.
off money.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead. boxing analogy.
Well, that to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounded, but it's second down. Ritter will set up to throw it. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as the crowd is shaking up on that one. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Back to throw, Ritter. That's into the hands of the rookie from Florida. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From the midfield stripe, they look to throw. The throw out wide going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They give him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Sticking with the passing game. Here's Ritter again. To the sideline and incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Miami set to take over. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points. That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Tua sets up to pass it. They set up the screen. Achane has it. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Over the middle, complete. That's Palmer. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Tua going to throw. Completes this one to Meredith. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Here comes the seventh play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. Here's Tua. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. K.J. Hamler, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a touchdown reception. It was Devon Achane who's had the strong first half. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far. But there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both teams are actually making their final adjustments before the second half. So, time for us to go back downstate to Miami and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Now we've got a stoppage for an injured player, and that appears to be Garrett Wilson, who is shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Ritter back to throw. This pass complete. He finds Jeremy Ruckert.
No name defense. We got no turnovers, guys. Let's go.
To the other, a gain of 6.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This is caught by Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence the big plays are out there.
Looking left side, and it's complete.
Right, well, nobody there. What was that?
Eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 33 yards that time.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Hall. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Ritter to throw it. Touchdown! A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jets are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. For quarterbacks, there are a number of ways to measure a good statistical season. This is one of them. That last touchdown pass, his 30th on the year. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And it's 17-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Dolphins offense and running back Devon Achane making their way back out. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he'll have the Dolphins first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
The problem with the defense isn't going to adjust, and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over. They're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be second down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. A quick throw, but incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Gets it to Meredith complete.
And
he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 4th down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Working the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. So the fourth down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And
God
it's
damn
nearly
it.
an interception, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, not break.
Well, a turnover
Route.
really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away.
Too far.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Our attention shifts back to Desmond Ridder in this offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of the route, too.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run with Hall. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
I'm just going to put on the front line. No pressure right now.
Here's Ridder. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Ridder. His throw is going to be incomplete.
Big hit.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Ridder from the gun on 3rd down. Buying time to his left.
Oh, come on, man. You're going to run somebody over.
Close to a
That's
first
a running
down,
back.
where they're
Quarterback.
spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there's a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Here's a 2nd and 5. A run straight ahead with H.M. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Now to it. And this pass broken up.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm taking my last 4th and 4.
Time there.
Come on,
and
TT.
4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
They're cheating.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw.
I told you don't cheat me. He ran backwards. He ran backwards all fucking years.
They stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game. That
guy ran backwards all fucking year. Now they're running backwards again.
Why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It's your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call, but he wants to take care of the ball himself.
This out quickly to Williams. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Ritter now. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for them so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
Ritter will set up to throw it. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball to the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. And off to Achane to begin the drive. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 123 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Right back to Achane on second down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Looking to pass to him. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Up the middle, Achane. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Got his man. It's Thornton. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and he was able to get it by a gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. That's a staple in this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Tua to throw again. He's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down. This is A-Chan. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Again, it's A-Chan. And he dropped it about the 11 after only a yard. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
2 are going to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And New York set to take the field. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Ritter from the gun. And his throw is going to be incomplete. A missed connection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Yes. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This pass out wide to Hall. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw it here. Ritter. That's caught. It's Malone. And he slips up past the 45.
He ran behind the first on his own, guys. Y'all cheating me.
Today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try to get some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Another throw coming up here for Ritter. Throw left side complete. That's Osborne. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 36. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores. And they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Ritter back to throw. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down their throat.
A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Ball again on second down. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The Jets on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw, Ritter. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Jets have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed. They definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
Now Zerline on and the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. The 10-play drive.
I got 2 clock. Let's run the clock out. They shouldn't see the ball again.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27. Devon Achane in the offense, ready to go once again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see it back. Just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 140 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
Right back to Achane on second down. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And this is the worry because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. On the handoff, it's Achane. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances of trying to win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get 1st downs and eat away at the clock.
Tagovailoa looking to throw it. And not nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fighting him off. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Jets will take over. The Jets offense and Desmond Ridder headed back onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Ridder. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Run with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Ridder wants to throw it. This completes a Corley. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Now Ridder. And a quick throw there is incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
This one an absolute must. It's 4th and 4. Ridder. And it's incomplete.
Good job, guys.
They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Down to the 22-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll run for it with Achane. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And with time to factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. So the Jets now down by 6, a little under a minute to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Ritter. And his throw here is incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Final minute, no timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. Pass caught here by Osborne. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Here's Ritter. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
Ritter looking to throw it here. This for all the marbles. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. It all came down to one final jump ball on the Hail Mary, but part of the defense was ready, able to force it to be incomplete. Ball game over.
Look, let's face it, everybody wants to work the ball in closer and take a more high percentage pass to try and tie the game. But the Hail Mary, that's what they had to work with. And now they're just hoping that their jumpers can get up higher and are stronger than the defenders. Not the case in this instance. They end up losing the game.
So for the Dolphins, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.